Yeah, I believe, here we go. Casual Tom, off to a little bit of a, quicker start here, as stuff seems to be, headed toward, Flashman.
Yep, so as far as routing the Mega Man 2 randomizer, pretty much Quickman and Flashman are the two stages to go to. They don't require heavy item use. You can get an easy E-Tank, especially in Quickman stage. Flashman stage can take a little effort depending on enemies, but otherwise, very simplistic stages to go through, so very good starting points.
Yeah, very true. One thing I noticed on Stuffnthings' side is he didn't take a pot shot at the crash wall to see if the Buster happened to be the weakness. Maybe a little bit of an oversight by Stuffnthings, but we'll see soon enough as both of our runners are making their way through their respective stages. Stuffnthings about to hopefully make his way across this platform section, and he will be rewarded with his E-Tank. Casual Tom already picking up his.
Yeah, Stuffnthings' route to the E-Tank wasn't that simple, as we had repeating falling crowns, which are invincible no less, so Stuffnthings having a little bit of issue getting to it, but he's still first to his boss room, where in Flashman's room we get Metal Man, while Casual Tom is going to Quick Room and we get Quick Man. Well, there's always got to be one.
Yeah, you shuffle the deck, and every once in a while you still get, something showing up where it's supposed to be. But Casual Tom making very short work of Quickman, while Stuffnthings maybe not so much struggling with Metal Man, but just taking a little bit longer. As Casual Tom and Stuffnthings are now going to basically switch sides, as Casual Tom's going to head into the stage Stuffnthings had worked on, and vice versa for Stuffnthings.
See, while these guys are we just see from Casual Tom that the Crash Walls are indeed Buster immune, so they're going to be digging for a weakness later on. But let's talk about what the Mega Man 2 randomizer is. So the Mega Man 2 randomizer, in a short phrase, is technically a weapon randomizer, a boss randomizer, a weakness randomizer, an enemy randomizer. It pretty much randomizes quite a bit of things, even the cosmetics. As you can see, we got random music and we got random colors. So this game pretty much randomizes quite a bit of things.
Yeah, and I believe the Item 1 platforms are randomized as well. Oh, Casual Tom taking a hit, not going to be able to pick up that second E-Tank. That Stuffnthings a little bit more patient, but we see Casual Tom taking a pretty significant lead here as he is through the boss door.
And now he's about to face his Metal Man fight, while Stuffnthings not truly too far behind, about to go into Quick Room for his vanilla Quickman fight.
Yeah, this Quickman fight will definitely go quicker for Stuffnthings, as one of the things that is randomized is 4 of the bosses will take 4 points of damage from the regular Buster shot. And we see that Quickman is taking the 4 points, while Casual Tom has Metal Man, who is taking only 2 points of damage from the Buster. So, as we saw, that boss fight going much better for Stuffnthings. He's already into his third stage, which is Bubble Man. And it looks like Casual Tom
following suit. And it looks like we got a seafood buffet, which is technically also somewhat vanilla, as we got shrimp and crabs. Just all over the place.
Oh boy, look at what we have as our dessert. The Spanish Inquisition. Oh no. But it looks like our seafood buffet is Buster immune, so I'm surprised we're not searching for weapons to take these I want to say monsters, but at the end of the day, our little seafood platter, we can deal with that in some way.
Stuffnthings making the pause buffer zip to get himself a little bit more distance on Casual Tom, who unfortunately fails to perform the said zip and is going to have to go through the area vanilla. So Casual Tom is going to be a little bit further behind, while Stuffnthings is pulling a little bit ahead, but he's got to deal with this last little stretch of seafood before he gets to the bubble room.
Now, with the fat fans showing up, as we so affectionately call them, is that why the runners chose not to zip? Because there's a very high chance that they get locked without being able to complete the zip if another one shows up?
As we see Heatman in Bubble Room, technically no. The fans actually makes it a little worse because of the fact that you're going to be pushed so far back you won't even have a chance to do the zip. So yeah, with the fans there, doing the bubble zip is basically impossible. Stuffnthings taking out Heatman, Casual Tom getting his Heatman fight, him also being Buster Soft Weak taking 4 damage, so it should be a relatively easy fight, but Casual Tom needs to be careful, and there he goes.
I was just about to say, Casual Tom might have wanted to invest one of his E-Tanks there, because if he takes one hit, he's done for. But it looks like he's choosing not to. Or maybe forgot that he had the E-Tanks, who knows. But taking a death, so that's going to put him a little further behind, as Stuffnthings taking a trip to the hardware store. Moles and other metallic objects trying to crush him.
Yeah, a little bit closer to the first part of Woodman stage. But it looks like we got well, Casual Tom's about to follow suit as he's about to go to Woodman's tool shed and have to deal with all the little mechanical goodies that are along the way.
This is one of those stages where it's just like, oh my, what did I get myself into? But this is what happens when you randomize the enemies. You get the fan section, you get the little hardware section where you get the drill bits, which are, I believe, moles in this game, and the metal crushers.
Well, on top of Woodman's treehouse, we found ourselves a few messes of Springer enemies. Definitely, actually, a pretty tolerable group for this part of the area. This section could be really nasty if specific enemies are around. Of course, the main culprit are our fat fins, and they're going to be jumping over pets. But since they're not there, there's nothing to worry about.
Yeah, so far it looks like both of our runners are at least making their way through, and, well, that's going to count for something. Oh, it looks like we're back to our seafood buffet in the second half of the Woodman stage.
Apparently, Red Lobster is being quite busy this evening.
All you can eat, my friend. All you can eat.
Except I would not want to eat in that restaurant as we find Woodman in his own room.
Who rolled this seed? Did they remember it's supposed to be randomized?
Well, it's randomized enough to allow Woodman to be yet another Buster Soft Weak enemy, and we also get item 1 for our trouble. Item 1, as mentioned before, is the only item that has a randomized attribute as far as distance and duration, as Stuffnthings immediately goes to Metal Man, in which I'm assuming you're going to try that item 1 out.
Yeah, there is a zip that's possible here, and it looks like he's going to go right for it, but ooh. Stationary item 1 says, not today, my friend.
Casual Tom making short work of Woodman himself, and he's about to get his item 1, as we find that our mechanical fortress is literally Joe infested.
Yeah, Armor Joe, and I believe these are Sniper Joes with the shield.
Yes, it is.
And Casual Tom actually going to follow suit with the stage as well into Metal Man.
At least it makes our commenting job a little easier, be able to keep track of what our opponents are doing, but there, with the lack of divergence, it still pretty much gives Stuffnthings a bit of an advantage because we don't know what's going to be in the other stages. It could help Casual Tom, probably help him come back a bit.
Yeah, Stuffnthings is, you know, fairly clearly in the lead. It's not like, oh, well, we have, you know, what could happen in any other match where you see that, oh, well, one of them has 5 bosses done and the other one has 6 bosses done. But, you know, you're not really sure who's in the lead because one of those stages that hasn't been done yet is a very long stage and allows the other runner to catch up by completing 2 of the quicker stages, or I should say faster, since Quickman in itself is a stage.
So we got Bubble Man in the conveyor room of metal, and he looks pretty well tamed. No hugging Bubbles this time around. So Stuffing should have himself a relatively simple time with him.
Yeah, certainly looks like it. Just taking a couple hits here and there. Casual Tom and Stuffnthings, just one thing to note, not opting to take the E-Tank, or the second E-Tank that's available in the Metal Man stage.
Stuffnthings getting rewarded with item 2 for his trouble. Casual Tom about to face Bubble Man. Soon he's about to get his item 2 once he beats the stage as well. Meanwhile, we got Stuffnthings using item 2 in Airman stage. Definitely a wise choice. Airman being one of the more notoriously dangerous stages in the randomizer, actually been altered for the randomizer as well due to a potential game-breaking glitch involving the Lightning Lords and specific enemies that despawns the clouds that will make going through the first part of Airman stage impassable.
Yeah, that's why you see that second long walking platform instead of what would normally be in the vanilla game, I believe, a set of 4 lightning lords that you have to jump on their platforms. And, well, as you stated before, that platform despawns. Well, you get a, you know, priority pass into the abyss, and I don't think that's where you want to be.
Yeah, pretty sure our runners would not have enjoyed that pretty much either. Anyway, we got Stuffnthings making pretty short work of Airman stage. Another fairly tame stage as he's about to find out who's in Airman's boss room. And we got ourselves... So that would be 3 of our 8 Robot Masters that are in their own rooms?
Yeah, we're 500 at this point. 3 out of 6 have been in their own rooms. So we've got Crashman and Heatman left. So if Heatman is in Crashman's stage, well, looks like Stuffnthings heading to Crashman's stage. So we'll see if we're going to get 5 bosses or 3 bosses that are in their own stages.
Well, it's a little curious. I'm thinking I'm picking in Stuffnthings' mind. I think he wants to make sure he has item 3 for Heatman stage. So he decides to go to Crashman where he knows he can uses the skips in, well, not the skips, but use item 1 to skip the moving platform sections, and thought it'd be wiser to do that as opposed to going through Heatman without item 3. And Casual Tom probably thinking the same thing because that's where he's going.
And I think that, you know, again, not being in the tournament myself, I'm going to pick your brain a little bit. Having item 1 and item 2, is that enough in itself to try to have a go at Heatman's stage before Crashman? Or do you, as a racer in the tournament yourself, if you were in their position running this right now, would you have looked at Heatman over Crashman?
It kind of depends because since we're looking for item 3 here, item 3 has uses in both stages. So it pretty much depends. Like right now, without item 3, Stuffnthings cannot do the crash climb as fast as he could. So that's a bit of a time sink here because now he's gonna have to make this long climb up to the top. But then you gotta make the comparison to does that save enough time in comparison to possibly doing the heat zip in the second half of Heatman stage and having to do with all of the enemy shenanigans in that stretch. Honestly, I might prefer coming here to crash and doing heat last. So I think, in my opinion, they might have made the correct decision, but we won't know until we see what happens in this fight.
Well, that's true. We could have item 3 locked behind the Heatman stage, so, you know, it is a randomizer. We'll see soon enough, as Stuffnthings is gonna find Crashman at the end of Crash stage, which means Heatman is going to be at the end of the Heatman stage.
So we are batting over 50% as far as boss randomizations.
Yeah, we're at 625, 5 out of 8.
Oh my goodness, what a boss seed. Anyway, let's see what we got in the boiler room that is Heatman stage. So we got birds, we got toothpaste, and right now that's looking like to be, well...
Oh boy.
Our Buster Amuse Shrimp is making a return appearance.
Yeah, that's, I think, the one thing that I would dread at this point, and I am somewhat shocked that Stuffnthings is not looking for some kind of an item or weapon at this point, excuse me, to use against the shrimp, because I think you're going to get another heavy dose of them once you head down from this ladder.
Actually, no. You're going to have a helping of prop tops first and foremost. The tellies are a bit extra, but the one screen right before going to the actual midpoint, that one enemy you see is more than likely going to be at least one of the enemies you're going to be seeing in this stretch here.
Oh, that's good Mega Man 2 knowledge.
And I just realized something very late, because we weren't paying attention. Item 3 has been locked here the whole time.
Well, I did say it could be possible when they went into that Crashman fight. And unfortunately for our runners, Crashman did not give up that item 3. So, Heatman stage, I believe, is the vanilla item 3 location.
Well, it's a vanilla item location, but it will be item 1 in that regard. But that's pretty much nitpicking at this point.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, definitely Heatman stage in the vanilla game is one of the item locations. And, old age, can't remember item 1, item 3, oh well. But what I do remember is, oh wait, no. Heatman already showed up. That was Flashman. That was in Heatman stage.
Yeah, we had Heatman and Bubbleman stage. But on to more better things than talking about Robot Master and their vanilla locations, because we got ourselves a guessing game. One of our favorite ones. So, people in the chat, it's time for you, and us as commentators, of course, to guess the color of that Mega Dragon. And of course, as always, extra credit for the weakness. Frigo, it's been a while for you, so I'll let you start off.
Alright, I am going to go the easy way. I'm going to say Green Dragon, and since I'm going to stay with going green, I'm going with the Leaf Shield. Alright,
I'm gonna go a little easier. We're gonna go with a blue dragon, and we're gonna see if we have a true blue weakness and see if it's Buster weak.
Oh.
Also, a little bit of developments on Casual Times, and I saw he was digging for a little bit of the wall weakness. The walls are weak to Air Shooter this time around.
Yeah, so it looks like Casual Tom has a little bit of information that might help him going forward, as he's been using weapons against the bosses, which may help him in the refights, as Casual Tom uses the quick boomerang to just absolutely dumpster Flashman.
Stuffnthings making a final climb up to the Mega Dragon boss room, and a little bit of a recurring theme on this particular climb.
That's what, 5 or 6 stages that we've seen those shrimp appear in?
Apparently, this is our shrimp seed for the evening.
Yeah, seafood special. Thursday night. Oh boy. Yummy, yum, yum.
Yeah. That is a very, very vanilla looking.
Well, they didn't randomize anything else, so why would they randomize the dragon? But at least you got the Buster side of things.
Which, for all intents and purposes, is also vanilla as well, aside from the quick weakness.
Well, it may well have the quick boomerang weakness as well. The dragon does have 2 separate weaknesses, but I think we won't know until the closing credits as to what that second weakness might be.
Well, regardless of the matter, we do have Stuffnthings making quick work of the dragon and going to Wally 2. About to see what we're going to have here. Going to see if Stuffnthings takes the time to dig for wall weaknesses, which we already know, thanks to Casual Tom, that the weakness is air.
I would be surprised if Stuffnthings stops. He's got full E-tanks already, so this is somewhat surprising that Stuffnthings just picked up a 5th E-tank that I don't think he can use.
And it's probably just a force of habit. I know I've been a victim of doing that as well. Not remembering my E-tank count and just grabbing it just for the mental safety, if anything.
Gotta have that security blanket, huh?
More or less.
Well, with the E-tanks, it's definitely better to have and not need to use than need to use and not have.
So we got Casual Tom discovering the Buster weakness of the dragon, while we're about to see what's going to happen in the Pico fight. Is, let's see, Stuffnthings had the Buster. Is it going to be Buster weak? Not this time, so we're doing some weapon diving.
Not a quick boomerang either. What is that? That's a bubble lead, but that's 4 shots. I would be surprised if he sticks with this.
Well, the bubbles has some decent weapon consumption, so he might stick with it. Yeah, Bubbles had a much worse, weaker weapon consumption compared to how many hits it takes to kill a Pico unit. Then I might have would have expected to change, but right now the balance between the weapon ammo and how many bubbles it takes to kill Pico, it seemed to be suitable for stuffing.
Well, I don't think he would know, but he's in the lead, and it gives Casual Tom, a way to make a little bit of a comeback, because Casual Tom already knows the air wall is broken down by the air shooter. So now it's just a matter of Casual Tom getting to the boss, and if he finds a quicker weapon, he can make up a lot more time here on Stuffnthings as he's making his way up the little elevator section, and Stuffnthings basically getting the halftime break known as the Wily 3 stage.
Casual Tom about to make his way to our said Pico fight, designed to make sure he tops off on his health before he makes the mad dig for whatever weapon is also weak to the Pico units. He looks like he's going to start with metal this time around.
Ooh, that is a slow blade and ineffective. Oh, leaf shield.
Oh, and My favorite weakness for Pico, because you really don't have to do anything with it. Meanwhile,
I think he can just sit right exactly where he is.
we got a vanilla weakness on the Guts tank. Quick Boomerangs just rips right through him.
But yeah, I think, unfortunately for Casual Tom, even with finding this weakness for the Picotan, he's now a little more than a stage behind, as it's 25-20 for Stuffnthings going into Wily 4. Just a little side note to see at what point Casual Tom makes it into the Wily 4 stage.
So we got Stuffnthings utilizing item 2, so we don't have to worry about the fake platforms. In the previous screen, in this one here, the fake floors that you normally see in Wily 4 are randomized, so you don't know which floor is fake. There are fake floors in this screen that Stuffnthings in, but those have not changed. Those are the same.
Now, can you also use bubble lead to find the fake floors? Because wouldn't the bubble lead fall through? Oh no, Stuffnthings. Alright, recovers with item 1.
That's a per seed basis because of the randomized nature of the bubbles. The bubbles can arc very high, so it might not even touch the ground, and there's also cases where the bubbles can be randomized to an effect that they stick to the ceilings rather than the floor, so you won't be seeing the bubbles coming down anytime soon. So bubbles can be rather not dependable.
Yeah, fair enough. I figured, why not ask, just in case, a casual observer that does not know everything inside and out like you certainly do.
Casual Tom find the quick boomerangs for the Guts tank. Should be done. Yeah, there he goes. While Stuffnthings is just a few pixels away from the Boobeam boss door, where he's going to be digging for some Boobeam weaknesses, because he does know that the wall weaknesses is air, and because of which the Boobeam turrets will not be weak to air. The crash walls and the Boobeam turrets have separate weaknesses, and they will not be the same.
Well, so far he's not doing so good. Charged heat.
At least this one-shot charge heat. Otherwise, if it took 2 hits, this would have been a long and annoying fight because of the fact that it's a full charge effect rather than the chance of being an instant full shot.
Yeah, I think Stuffnthings is now headed into the refights. Casual Tom still about 2 minutes behind at this point. So, is this, if you're behind at this point, are you basically hoping that we don't have a Buster Week Wily machine? At what point does Casual Tom, really have a way to make it back into the seed without Stuffnthings making any, egregious errors at this point?
Well, with Stuffnthings' experience, it's going to be really hard for Casual Tom to expect Stuffnthings to make a mistake. He pretty much going to be hoping that things fall into his favor as far as Stuffnthings' lack of execution, which I unfortunately do not expect from Stuff. So yeah, he's probably going to be hoping for a Buster Immune Wily machine.
That seemed to have been Casual Tom's, way of finding small advantages. Running through, I didn't see any noticeable, glaring errors where Casual Tom took a death unnecessarily, or, anything like that. It just seems to be, execution that, unfortunately, not going Casual Tom's way.
Well, unfortunately, that's just a thing as far as skill difference is concerned. Stuffnthings had been doing the weekly races for quite a bit, and of course, he was also a part of the last year's randomizer tournament as well. So, Stuffnthings is rather experienced in the randomizer. Casual Tom has been doing a lot more races, but he's still relatively new. So he has grown. He has grown quite a long way from even starting coming into this tournament. I mean, his last PB, and this is even with the option of having stage names removed in the stage select. He can hit a 35, so he has the capability of keeping up with Stuffnthings. But is this a question of that experience just being the edge and that X factor that's keeping Casual Tom from being around Stuffnthings level as Stuffnthings makes his way to the Wily Machine, which is Buster Week.
Yeah, speaking of last year's tournament, I believe Stuffnthings was top 6, if memory serves correctly, as it was a certain person that's in the commentary booth with me right now that actually eliminated him in the losers round 3.
Well, yeah. But keeping on task with the batch at hand, we got Stuffnthings going to what you, Frico, would like to call Victory Road, as he's about to face off against the Wily alien, and we're going to see what kind of weakness our friendly little alien is going to be weak to this time around.
Yeah, Casual Tom is gonna make up some time because he does know some of the weaknesses, but unfortunately I think Stuffnthings is just a little too far ahead, and the bubble lead doesn't look like it's gonna run out before the alien HP runs out.
And no, it does not. So get your GGs in chat as we find that Stuffnthings wins first place with official SRL time of 32 minutes and 8 seconds, which actually is a race PB by 15 seconds. So GG's to Stuff.
Yeah, well done. Showing some improvement, especially in a tournament where you put up the best time that you've been able to do so far. Not a bad place for it. Now one game away from moving on in the tournament, and unfortunately a date with our defending champion Prodigy is awaiting the winner of this match.
Casual Tom making short work of the Wily Machine as he's on his way to Victory Road, where he's gonna fight our vanilla Bubble Week alien.
I believe the loser of this match will end up facing the loser of Kumba and Metalo in the loser side of things.
Yep, that's what our bracket says. So, of course, they're not out of the tournament because it's double elimination. So, even if one of these guys does end up losing, they do have a chance to keep going in our lower bracket.
Yeah, I think it was our last year's champion that actually ended up in the lower bracket, the losers bracket, fairly early on in the tournament, but ran it back. I believe, let's see. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Prodigy got sent there by Stuffnthings, of all people. And then he ran it back, going through Kamasenin, Kumba, Squidman. Unfortunately, you and Mega Kyle before taking down Metalo in the finals.
Well, we just got Casual Tom finishing his alien fight. GG's to Casual Tom as he finishes with an official SRL time of 34 minutes and 5 seconds, which is a massive race PB of nearly 3 minutes. So we got ourselves quite a bit of improvement. And I think that's his actual PB as well for the randomizer, his fastest randomizer time to date, as far as I know.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Again, in the speed gaming, landscape, you look at 15 seconds and go, wow, that's huge. And then you turn around and see something like a 3-minute improvement and you go, wow, that is absolutely fantastic for Casual Tom. If he can keep, making these improvements, you make a mistake now on Stuffnthings side, next thing you know, we're going to game 3.
That's exactly as I see it, because like I said, Casual Tom has been steadily improving. Just right now, you just seen that he's just a few seconds away from hitting a 33. A 33 in a tournament of this scale is actually pretty phenomenal. So Casual Tom getting just about 6 or 7 seconds close to a 33 in a race setting, in a tournament setting, is nothing short of really, really good. So all this does is promises that the second match in our best of 3 could be, how do I say, rather interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely should give a good bit of confidence over to Casual Tom, going, all right, I've just made this massive 3-minute improvement. Now it's like, okay, yeah, I didn't get that first game, but if I make another improvement, you win that second game. Who knows? You take it to a game 3, anything happens.
But of course, it's all for what the randomizer to say, because in the end, it's going to be depending on what seed they're given to even have a shot. If it favors Casual Tom or if it favors Stuff, it's all in the randomizer's hands.
Yeah, that is very true. It looks like our weapons were W and C for the dragon. C is the crash bomb, W is the leaf shield.
So it looks like our guys are readying up. I'm about to give you okay in a few seconds. We're about to have race 2 of our best of 3 in this bracket stage. Alright, so I'm gonna do what I do best and release the floodgates.
Yeah, for those of you wondering, this particular randomizer seed is trying to disguise itself as Zero Wing from the Genesis.
Yeah, another nice little customary cosmetic randomized touch. The beginning has a random prologue. The developer and the country of users randomized. Just some little touches that our creator Duckfist just thought to do. So it's neat. Well, also, as you can see on Stuffnthings, then another addition that we have that's been recent, because Stuffnthings is rocking the Proto Man sprite. We now have 3 extra sprites to use to play with aside from Mega Man. So we got Proto Man, Roll, and Bass to use. And Stuffnthings just showing off Proto Man as we